What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and let's talk very quickly about the Carmelo and Stephen A. Smith interview. Hopefully, this works. Now, Stephen A. Smith did the best way he could of leading Carmelo Anthony. See, Carmelo Anthony was on the show to try to audition for, hey, maybe this would be a good idea if I was to come over and join everybody. Yay, Carmelo! So he wanted to come over there to audition and let the people know he's not going to play for 1 year. He wants to do 2 or more. Now, listen. Carmelo has let a lot of time go by. He had a lot of problems, but he's always been quiet. He's always been a good guy. He's always been a great player. But to not be able to adjust, and you can hear it in his interview. He's talking about points he's averaged and all of this stuff. It's like that doesn't matter. It's the will to play and the will to fit into the role they need you to be at this moment in time. That's all. And that's all they were looking for. So they's like, look, here's the deal. We need you to do X, Y, and Z. We need you to be on the bench. He had to go have coaches talk to him so he can mentally get prepared for the role of coming off the bench. But he also basically vouched for everything that I said about him being the third member of the team that joined the Miami Heat instead of Chris Bosh. And they act like they were breaking news. It wasn't supposed to be Chris Bosh. It was supposed to be you. But yeah, he wasn't going to turn down that money. I've told you guys that plenty of times. So there was no big surprise there. Plus, the world already knew that. He took that big long-term deal, with no way out. It was a lot of money. And at that time, Melo's like, well, I didn't know the business, Now, thinking I would have just did it another way, I wouldn't have went in that, the way that I did it. I would have just, found another route and, took the 3-year deal. But like he said, he didn't have any knowledge of the business. And to me, this was the most telling part about Carmelo, was that he was just a ball player. He didn't understand the business of basketball, meaning that when he was with Denver, he had every intentions of staying with Denver, but he didn't understand other people's contracts. This guy wasn't going to re-sign with the team. This guy's not going to re-sign. They're not going to sign him. Everybody's leaving. And he's going to be stuck not vying for a championship. So going through this process was very educational for Carmelo Anthony. So when he went to the Knicks, he did everything he could there for the Knicks to turn it around, but the Knicks imploded. But is he the same player as he was before? No. But what Melo's got to understand is that if you come on a team, even if you want to play for 2 more years, Melo could play for 2 more years. It's just that he has to come off the bench. And if you can't wrap your mind around the fact that the role right now is for you to come off the bench, maybe some games you are the starter. But we're going to need you mostly to come off the bench. And if you can't wrap your head around it, then we're sorry. But the most compelling thing he talked about was the OKC situation. The OKC situation to me was the most compelling out of the interview of all the softball questions Stephen A. Smith threw down the lane. I told you, Melo and Stephen A. have a relationship. Not like that, but the relationship that he trusts whatever Stephen A. does, because he told Stephen A., hey, look, come to me first. No matter what it is, come to me first. And if I don't tell you this is how it is, or then you can run the story, however the rumor is, but address me first. Give me that first right of refusal. And he's always been 100 with Carmelo Anthony, ever since the one incident they had where he didn't do what he said and he asked him to do. And he was like, why didn't you call me? He was like, well, you go overseas. I thought you. He was like, dude, what did I tell you? Call me. You got my direct number. Call me. And I'll tell you if it's the truth or it's a lie. So any news about Carmelo coming from Stephen A. Smith should be very valid. Because he knows he's going to have Melo to answer to if he gets that wrong. So now, with that being said, what he also pointed out is that he believed OKC wanted him to be a one and done anyway, because they didn't want to stay in the luxury tax, which is important. Because when teams that are small, they can't afford to be in the luxury tax too long. Small market teams like OKC, they're shelling out that kind of money. They can't afford to be hanging around the luxury tax. So they wanted Melo to restructure his contract the moment he got there. And he was like, no, not going to do that. So they were like, oh, great. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. No. So right away, that's the situation. So if you're abreast of the situation, you see things for what they are, and you start saying, oh, okay, I appreciate it now. I appreciate things now. No, Melo will be all right. He'll figure it out. See, that's the thing about Carmelo. He'll figure it out. He's a big boy. And I think he's more than capable. He's better than half of the players in the league that they got playing basketball, period. So you think he couldn't come off the bench for anybody? They got players in the big three that can come on that still have the ability to play now and can be coming off somebody's bench. So you let the media and the sports writer tell you what the brainwash is, and they don't want you to believe that. But Melo can definitely play and come off the bench. He could start on a lot of teams. But if a team that's set to go to an NBA championship, if that's what he wants to try to do, then he's going to probably have to come off the bench for somebody. Now, the question he needs to be asking himself is, why haven't the Los Angeles Lakers locked him down? That's his bestie over there. Why didn't he get his bestie to lock him down? That's a very good question. LeBron James should have locked him down. So anyway, that's what I thought about it. I mean, I didn't expect Stephen A. Smith to come out and be like, so what happened on the boat? Tell us, Melo. We know something went down on that boat. She didn't look like she had a husband. I mean, come on, Melo. Ooh, them legs was like blow. I know you had some suntan for it. You was just helping out. Come on, talk to her, brother. No, we didn't get that. We knew we wasn't gonna get that. That would have been, he'd have been like, you set me up, mother. Melo would have went straight B-more style if that was said. But then that would have been the livest interview in ESPN history. They've been talking about that 10 years from now. Who will forget the meltdown on the Melo Stephen A. Smith interview? We would have had some real live. They'd have been talking about that for a week straight. Like, man, did you see how quick Melo still got it? He was real quick how he grabbed Stephen A. by the throat. Stephen A. won 100% though because of that shoulder. Yeah, he was running and still asking the questions while he was running. Come on, now the world wants to know. Give us the answer. Oh, man. That's how you get the day rolling. I'm out.